uh, actually wasn't as close as you would expect between two teams of that caliber. But I guess that just goes to further show that HG is still not where they typically are as a team, and it's going to continue to show in the standings. Although they have made it through that super, super difficult past two games there where they had to run up against AG and SV consecutively. No easy task. And as we see what that does to the top of the table, SV going to be untouched for a little bit while longer here as they do get that 2-0 and push it up to 16 points. And whoa, did not get much of a chance to look at that. But we did see the interesting, or hopefully you guys managed to catch the interesting points there that AG and Q9 here, our first match is a tie. And then followed up around 8 o'clock, we will have Pent-Up and MGC with huge implications for the bottom of the table. I managed to see, managed to talk to Dono, the Dono and Sir, coach and captain / owner for the team there, and Dono and coach and Sir, as well as, who, now I can't think of it. Oh my gosh. Balbo. No. What am I thinking? Oh my gosh. It'll come to me here in a second as we look at the lineups, and then I'll get back to my point. It's times like those there where you could use that co-caster to help bounce off of here. An important game here today for both of these teams, sitting at tied there at second place. And I was right. I was talking about Baba. Okay. Scared me there for a second. With a 1.33 KDA. Should see almost everyone on both of these lineups sitting above that 1.0 KDA. And really off to a very good start here is Q9. They do still have to face AG and SV, which they are going to have to start off here with AG. 1.41 there, 47Y. We've seen him tear apart games recently. Arbal there could be the only member on the team there with the under 1.0 KDA. And we will see D1 here come in as off the bench. No stats there for him yet, but going to be interesting strategy here. They must think he's got something special, because if you're going up against AG, there's a really good chance you're going to put the best five players you think you have onto the squad. Anyway, I was more or less listening in to their conversation, and not super confident here is Q9. Baba was jesting to try and work out a deal where they can guarantee 1 point out of the trade, and then they'll give them a 10 point advantage there on TD. Of course, a joke that would never happen. And of course, Dono followed up by saying, "Hell no, I want the 2-0." So a little bit of jesting there between the two teams, but I actually expect this to be closer than Q9 might think themselves. They might still consider themselves around a 3rd, 4th place team. And I do think there is still a gap between Q9 and AG. Q9 and AG and SV is really, it still kind of feels like AG, SV, and then everyone else. But Q9 has looked really good this season, and especially if 7Y can play the way he's been playing today and manage to shut down Bean, who's been performing extremely well for this AG squad. I think it'll be super interesting and could go tight here into 3 games. 1.51 there for Bean, and incredible KDA, even there with the 1.13 on the in the attacking spot. Always good to have on your entry that player. Dono, it's his KDA being under that 1.0 is perfectly fine, as he is definitely the shot caller. He's got the strats there for the team. He can be attacked though as a player, but typically AG are aware of that and react accordingly. Dono himself will be the first to admit he's not the most mechanically gifted player out there, but there's a reason that a team that he's been captain of for so long has won so many titles with him at the reins. It's the strats run deep within that man. And JE there, really for me a rock on the team. He's never, well, not never, but it's not typically him you see pop off. And then LSN, more of a brings that wild card factor for this AG roster, where if they do head into that double op setup, it's definitely going to be LSN picking it up, as he's made a namesake for the ability to pick up any weapon and take you one-on-one. So we'll see if they opt to use that double op setup and utilize LSN in that way. They're perfectly fine playing it, especially with the way Bean's been playing, actually. Unless 7Y can show that he is shutting Bean down, I think might just go ahead and leave Bean as the solo sniper here. And it's really nice to see him back on this AG squad, as a lot of people kind of questioned how good of a player he really was after leaving AG, where people might have started to think, man, maybe he was just carried by his teammates, because he really didn't have success after leaving it. But oh lordy, has he been carrying on AG, so it's definitely not him being carried, that's for sure. Perhaps you could, anyway, let's get into the feature matchup here. LSN versus Bao. Insane KD there, 8A there, up 1.33, but LSN sitting at the 1.01, I think a little bit low, especially considering AG's in second place for what you would expect from him. He is the kind of player you would expect to be at something like a 1.3, 1.4 KDA like Bao. We do see port banned from Q9, as well as Ankara and sub-base banned from AG, which will be the Black Widow pick, followed by Mexico from Q9. So we should be starting on Black Widow, following up with Mexico. And Q9 will go ahead and elect to take to the defense here on our first map. And of course, always, if we get to a third map, it will be Mexico Team Deathmatch. And here, getting a look here at Black Widow. Always an interesting map to watch. And this A-bomb site, such a good place for snipers to hold, even solo, as there's a lot of good cover there on the site and a long sight line. Here, heading into the B point through the warehouse, and more of a contact take there if you're going on to the B point. Can really come down to just winning your trades if you make that hard commit. And then heading through windows, up the stairs, and onto, or over bridge and onto the point. And then again, we should be coming through down middle, another favorite sniping point. We've seen some very early kills coming through this long line from the likes of someone like Choar, who will pick up that Barrett at the very beginning of the round and have a look-see if he can pick one up before trading out to his AK or M4. But let's go ahead and get into it. Enough out of me. First map. Even from here, with my headset on, I could hear the gyos coming out from both teams. Of course, meaning I don't know, like a standard cheer. It means literally add gas. So, however you want to read into that. But very, very common. Almost all the teams open up there right before round began with that chant. And a very, very standard start here from AG. Some pretty aggressive positionings from Q9. They're going to go ahead and set up a nice crossfire here in mid. And leave Shimoa on his own there to watch the staircase and help with that. Don't believe D1 would have seen that spray coming across, but could have gotten a little bit of information there out of LSN. But shouldn't be too beneficial, as still 120 left in the round, and everybody just staying pretty stagnant here. Even got a flash in his hand, ready to throw it towards Bridge. Or no, he's looking to throw that to flash out 7Y. And yeah, here it comes. Going to be a pincer attack here from Bridge and A Long. And it's going to be pretty clean here as they've gotten both defenders. But a little bit slow as rotations are coming across. And Arbal going to turn it into a 2-on-3. But looking like a really, really clean round here from AG. Although that kill from Baby going to put it... Oh, and now it's gotten interesting. Dono does have the bomb. It should go down here, but both players, Dono maybe 2 shots away, depending on if that shot's center mass or onto a limb. But Baby definitely 1 shot away, and it's going to be Dono who takes it. And there you go, hearing more gyos come out. And definitely maybe shutting me up a little bit, as Bao Bao, definitely one of the better mechanical players here for Q9, but Dono